Here's an entry-level upper day A that you can use as a high-frequency split. This split will be structured vaguely in order of susceptibility to muscle damage with lower voluntary activation muscles placed first, but I highly recommend that you reorder the split to fit your specific needs, whether that be for enjoyment, goals, or personal restrictions. This is also not how I personally structure my training. Starting off at the back, this movement will be very individual. Some people care more about the lats and others care more about the traps, but to get to the best of both worlds, I recommend a row with around 30 to 60 degrees of abduction to train the lats and the traps, focusing on scapular traction. Although you're welcome to do a transverse row or Kelso shrug with around 90 degrees of abduction to mechanically disadvantage the lats and hit them separately with a lat pull down or a sagittal plane row with a focus on shoulder extension. The traps can also handle slightly more volume due to their predominantly type 1 distribution. For the pecs, any horizontal shoulder flexion will work and it will boil down to mainly your preference. If you'd like to focus a little bit more on the chest, a fly might be better, but for this upper day, I would opt for a low incline to flat pressing motion, as this will include the medial and lateral portions of the triceps and slightly more anterior delts. Your sternum angle will affect the warp of your fibers and thus how much benefit you get from flat or incline pressing, but no matter who you are, if you are pressing with around 45 degrees of abduction on a moderate incline, you should be getting a lot of sternocostal and clavicular head. To include the side delts, we'll be doing a shortened biased raise like a Y raise or a dumbbell lateral. Each of the 7 heads of the delts each have their own respective leverages, so on the next upper day, the side delts will be hit from more of a lengthened position, but regardless, it's not too deep as they both grow the side delts quite well. Onto the arms, we'll be focusing on the long head of the triceps as medial and lateral heads are grown better through pressing motions. Research on the triceps is quite decisive at the moment, so I'm going to be basing my recommendations off of leverages, but you are welcome to train them differently if you feel like it. The triceps long head seems to have the best ability to produce force with the arms by the side and have their best leverages in the shortened position. A kneeling single arm tricep extension or a banded tricep extension should work quite well. For the elbow flexors, a lengthened bias curl movement will probably be the best option. I'd honestly recommend doing a dumbbell preacher curl, as this is by far the most successful lengthened position curl out there, but you can use a modified preacher curl or one that is already lengthened biased. While the biceps probably don't benefit much from stretching, if it's something that you'd like to experiment with, your biceps will be stretched by turning yourself from the pad, but this probably won't really do too much for growth, to be honest. All in all, this is what the proposed split will look like with my personal volume recommendations.